Hey guys, welcome to this week's YouTube video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys saw my Twitter message a few days ago. By and large, with the break we had of 78.50, I see this market coming into a much longer wave 2 correction than I personally expected. As you know, I've tracked a setup that I saw out of the late October low, potentially giving us a run to 18K, but I had my stop at 78.50. And just from a basic Elliott wave perspective, breaking that level puts us right back into wave 2 and potentially brings us into a much larger and much more choppy and complex wave 2 than I had expected. I had said on Twitter that expect this YouTube episode potentially to be the last for a while. It really depends on what this market does, but what I don't want to do is come on YouTube and just gab about a very choppy market when I really have nothing to offer. I will be on Elliott Wave Trader, giving subscribers to that service very up to the minute way I see the market potentially offering us many scalping opportunities. But I just don't see us in a market that's going to free and get ready to break up out of that 20K level that I saw building in the market previously. It's just going to come later, and it's going to come after much more complexity. Believe me, you will hear from me if we do start to build up into that again. But it's just going to take this market some work to get there. We've got so much technical destruction behind us. Now we may have a local bottom struck that same day that support was broke. But I also can see potential based on the way it's moving in micro for it to break down into the 5,500 level before seeing a larger swing trade of any kind, whether it be underneath the all-time highs or remaining under the all-time highs, or giving us giving us that real breakout setup. So I just don't know at this point in time. I think I want to cut back on these weekly episodes until this market gives something for those more long-term inclined. If you are a holder, I don't see any real risk that we don't get my six-figure price targets eventually, but I just don't see the setup happening anytime soon. And if you want opportunity in this market, you're going to have to become a much more short-term trader. We'll dive in and look at it, and then we'll just see how the next few weeks go. And if you keep that subscribe button on and watch me on Twitter, and I'll let you guys know whether I'm going to drop another one of these episodes as we go out into the future. Meanwhile, I'm going to enjoy my Saturdays. But let's take a look. When you look at this market again, I was thinking this aggressive bar was 5 waves, and potentially still could be depending on the way you interpret this market. But it isn't 5 waves. It would be a terminating A wave if that was the case. And the question is now, what do we have in front of us? Now I can see I can see an imminent bottom happening, or a bottom has happened already in this market in Bitcoin potentially, but it isn't very clean. And right now I need to see a rally to 8,200 to suggest that that is a much more likely potential. And if we do rally from there, because we can interpret this move down as 5 waves. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we do bottom here, we can interpret that way. Then we can expect that to be only the beginning of this correction and opening us up into a B wave, which would be somewhere between 11K or even pushing up into that all-time high, really close in a very, very high B wave, which isn't very common in Bitcoin, but is common in other assets. So that's what we should expect if we do terminate here. Now, if we continue to stretch into the 5,500 region, which I think is a very high potential, well, then we potentially flush this market out and give it an opportunity to set up another rally, but it's going to have to it's just going to have to build up over time. And we just don't know yet. That's the point. We lost a lot of the high probability setup for the immediate term when that 78.50 broke, and now ultimately invalidated with the 7,300 bottom. So I think it's 73.10 on most of my charts, has been invalidated. So again, if you want really short-term opportunities out of this market, do consider subscribing to Elliott Wave Trader. Well, we run a 2-week trial, free trial, if you just want to check it out, and we don't hound you after you end that trial if it just isn't for you. It totally makes sense. But if you may find it to be a community of traders, you might find the trader education that we do, not just the Elliott Wave analysis style, but also how to trade Elliott Wave and also how to be a trader for a living. Is we're all on that journey. We are there to help with that. So if that interests you, do pay a visit. If not, again, keep the subscribe button open. Watch me on Twitter, and believe me, when I show up again for the next episode, it will be because I see opportunity. So we'll talk to you soon. Have a good week. Have a good, stay away from the chop. Don't get caught in it if that is not your cup of tea. And get ready for when it's really ready to go. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.